So our next story, well, not next story, our next tip is about using the word fair when you're negotiating a higher salary.
This is an interesting one.
Okay, so usually when people think about their salary, they want it to be higher, but the reason is not because that you're worth it, but because other people are getting paid more than you, which is not the right way you want to go about asking for a salary raise. Instead of comparing yourself to other people in the workplace, you really need to compare yourself against yourself and how you were when you first started a job to where you are now and your skill sets now. When you're talking to any, I guess, an employer of any kind, you don't want to say that they're putting you down by having an unfair work pay. You want to say that maybe in comparison to the overall or the average, it may be lesser, or the market price, not market price, but market range is a little bit higher than what you're getting paid. But present yourself as you are, your talents and your skill set, and not the way everyone else is, because I think you're just putting yourself down when you do that, and you'll get a negative response that you won't like, and you probably won't end up with a higher pay raise.
Yeah, no, this is a really interesting one, and I think it's important, you know, especially when you talk about salary negotiations, because this is something that can actually really impact people's lives, and a lot of time people are content with whatever they're being paid just because they either don't know how to ask, don't think they're worth more money, worried about losing their job, worried about upsetting their boss, all these things. But when you are in the place where you're either renegotiating a salary, starting a new job, any of these situations where, you know, you're talking money, there is a lot of psychology that comes into play. And when the employer or the person doling out the money hears, that's not fair, I think I need a more fair salary, immediately I think what we kind of hear in our heads when we say that is like it's a personal attack, or you're saying like, you're not being fair with me, you're trying to get one over on me, you're trying to screw me. Instead, you need to look at it from a different angle. You need to talk about your positives, what you bring to the workplace, what you feel that you are worth, and frame it that way, right? And you can say, listen, I know what some of other people in the industry are being paid, and I'd like to be compensated appropriately. You know, I think that's a much more reasonable way than to say, well, it's not fair, because it just turns people off.
I know. And on top of it, I feel like that many people don't, like, when you assert yourself in that way, it's hard to be looked down upon, because everyone knows that it takes a lot of courage and pride to do something like that, which I think is an accomplishment in and of itself.
I love it, folks. Let us know what you think. If you have any interesting salary negotiation stories, we want to hear them in the comments below. If not, just hit that subscribe button.